pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. It's still sunny out. It's still sunny out. Welcome to the March 9th, 2026 Heritage Lake Board of Directors meeting. And first on our agenda is announcements, and we have Clear Creek Conservancy with Dwayne Kelly.
Dwayne Kelly, 282 Patriots Landing. I really don't have anything to report except I'm sure everybody's glad that the lake is almost back to pool level with the rain we got. So.
Yeah, I think everybody's excited about that. Thank you. Then we have Floyd Township Fire. I don't see anybody.
I don't either.
And then Neighborhood Watch.
Yeah, I was just reading this for April. It looks like she's trying to be a comedian. Saturday, February 21st, there was a loud boom near the clubhouse. Thank goodness it was just those chili cook-off medals banging together as the winners were announced. All bragging rights go to the judge's choice. First place, Matt Ludlow. Second place, Jim Johnson. Third place, Jolie Link. And people's choice was Matt Ludlow. Second place, Gina Badnick. And third place, Jim Johnson. It was a fun social event. Thank you to all that supported and helped with this event.
I thought the loud boom was the bathroom after all the beans.
Well, technically, chili does not have beans.
Well, Texas chili, no beans. All right, HLCS, Rick Miller.
No, that's gonna be
Oh,
Jenny.
oh, Jenny. It says Rick,
Yeah.
it's Jenny.
Jenny Lewis, 543 JD. No updates on the website yet. We're still working on it, but we do have a new person that joined our team that's going to be doing the highlights newsletter. Don Kaluga joined, so we're really excited about that. We did have some interest in the treasurer position, so we're meeting with somebody this week, and there's another few people that are interested as well, so I'm hoping to have that announcement soon too. So we're really excited about that, and that's all I have today.
Yep, awesome, thank you. Then Hellnack with Donna. I don't see Donna. What? No, Donna, I'm sad. All right, the security call report with Tom Sutherland.
Tom Sutherland, Chief Deputy, Putnam County Sheriff's Office. So we were up here 32 times for the month of February. That included 5 traffic stops done by our deputies around the lake. And the 2 highest calls we were up here for was 5 911 hangups and 5 administrative calls, which would have been boat checks, spin checks, stuff like that.
Great. Thank you, Tom. All right, I have a presentation of agenda. I have motion to accept.
So moved. Or
Second. All in favor? All right, that is approved. Presentation of minutes. First, we have the February 9th board meeting. Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion to accept.
Second, or motion to approve, I should say. And all in favor?
I wasn't on the board yet, so should I abstain?
You certainly may
You
if you
can.
want. And then we have the February 29th operation meeting. Motion to approve.
Motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Okay. Shall abstain. And then February 28th annual board meeting. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
I went there.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fired.
He was racing.
Lucky. Then February 28th, executive annual meeting. We have motion to accept.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. On to the treasurer's report, but it's not here. If Benny, can you go through it for AJ?
Yeah, absolutely. For the month of February, we had a total income of $151,862. Total expenses were $95,279. Therefore, we had a net income of $56,583. Year-to-date total revenue is $256,016. Total expenses $201,486. Excuse me, $201,468. Giving us a year-to-date income of $54,548. Man, no wonder this is hard. I don't see how he does it every month. Reading these numbers.
You want me to do it?
Yeah. So for the end of February 2026, our short-term cash was $307,025, and total cash available $316,342.
Thank you, AJ Standen. All right, on to the board committee reports. First, we have the A&E committee. Linda?
For the month of February, we had 2 docks approved, 2 non-waterfront fences, 2 houses, 1 detached garage, 1 permit-covered boat lift. We also had 3 denials. 1 was a garage addition, and another one was to add a garage on a, with another garage, so it'd be 3 structures total, and 1 was a fence.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No report for campground or cleanup. So we will move on to government with Mr. Rick Olson.
Rick Olson, 51 Mill Springs. The only thing I really have to report is one of the roads that are going to be improved are the just north of the 3-way stop by the campground. When you get north, it takes a hard right, and it's really hard to pass. Especially 2 vehicles pulling a boat or a trailer or something like that. So we got to talk to the county about the possibility of widening that when they do the improvements this year. And I just talked to Clint Maddox at the last meeting, and he's not real optimistic about that because there's some fiber optic line. There's the big obstacles. There's 3 trees right there, and there's fiber optic lines that aren't too far behind those trees. So he said he wanted to put some ditches in there too, and he said he didn't think that was going to work either. But so that's not looking real good. But we try, and I'll keep talking to him about it and see if there's a way. So thank you.
Well, if they resurface it, it'll be better.
What's that?
If they just resurface it. it'll be
Yeah,
better.
there's kind of a where people have gone off the road right there. So if they can even pull that out a little bit more, whatever they can do to.
But that road has been that width forever.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But like I said, you can't pass there. Somebody would have to back up, and if you're pulling a boat, that's not easy.
Then no report for lake or clean water. So again, back to you, Rick.
Okay, Rick Olson, 51 Mill Springs still. So the long-term planning committee, as I mentioned at the annual meeting, is going to start sinking our teeth into some more specific projects. Obviously, we don't know how, if these are going to take off, or they can. In one case, there'll probably have to be a vote, I would imagine. But so I'll just mention a couple of them. We're going to start working on sheds, the possibility of sheds, along with the AE committee. We're going to pool resources and come up with some guidelines and make a recommendation to the board on that. So stay tuned for that. And then the other thing that we're working on, we talked about this trail around adjacent to Heritage Drive, which is a long-term dream. But in the meantime, we think there's other things that we can do to enhance the walkability and get the word out there. I'm not sure people know about a lot of the trails that are available, walking paths, whatever you want to call them. So we're thinking about maybe trying to get a map put together so people know where those are at. Look at where other trails could potentially be constructed at a reasonable cost, and then maybe trailheads if necessary, so people could drive to that point and park. And we understand that through all of this, especially if we can designate some more trails, the Heritage Lake staff would have to be involved. so that, you know, we're not, so they can handle that. You know, I know there's some maintenance involved with those, so that's all I have for now. Any questions?
No question.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And siltation with Chris Schubert.
Citation 266 Chris Schubert, 266 Mill Springs. We meet at the end of this month for Thursday. Our targeted areas are east and north. We're going to use the photos we just had done with the aerial drone survey. It should be widely available if anybody wants those, let me know. And then the other area just came up was out in front of, south of the siltation or sewage wastewater treatment plant. There's low area up in there, so we're going to look at that too. So we'll make that decision at the end of the month. So that's it.
Thank you. And no report for the election committee. So on to the manager's report.
All right, the Psalms report through January and February, we've collected $5,302 compared to $5,000 last year. February was a good month, probably due to some IU parties that was had there, so football parties, not basketball. Lastly, I've got one more meeting left in April, so I'm gonna be turning the reports over to Benny. So I'm gonna use my time to just, last two meetings, just to thank some people. First off, I'd like to thank all of our committees for working with me over the years. They've been a pleasure to work with. I've enjoyed every one of them. If it wasn't for all these committees donating, doing their hard work and donating back to the POA, it'd probably be a different place. But anyway, I appreciate working with all of them and the committee chairs, and they put in a lot of hard work and a lot of time. The other group that I'd like to thank would be the county commissioners, Andy Beck, Tom Helmer, Rick Woodall. I felt like I've built a really good relationship with the commissioners over the years, some would maybe, some of our cul-de-sacs may disagree, but we have had a lot of work and pavement done out this way, so I'd like to thank them. I'd also like to thank the Sheriff's Department for showing up each and every month, Sheriff Ball and Chief Sutherland for attending the meetings and giving your reports. And also allowing me to step out of retirement and helping out the community. Finally, I'd like to thank all the Heritage Lake members out here that has supported me along the way, and all the kind words has been very much appreciated. Lastly, Jeff Blades was not at the meeting, so I'd like to present him with, each board member does a 3-year stint, and he finished his 3 years, jumped back on the board to do it to himself again. Like I introduced at the meeting, that Jeff Blades brings to the board a lot of wisdom, a lot of experience, and never bashful to speak his mind. So,
Just really nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow.
and that's it.
All right. Thank you, Ken. Assistant Manager's report, Benny?
All right. I want to start with the campground bathroom, and that bathhouse, that interior remodel has been completed. So wanted to say thank you to the guys, Sean, John, Mav, Rick, and then along with Alec and Jalen. They have knocked this project out, and I think everybody's going to be very thrilled with the results. Just going down the list of some of the items that have been improved is the flooring completely redone, paint, lighting, bathroom stall partitions, toilets, urinals, countertops, sinks, faucets, hand dryers, shower heads, curtains, and some other things. So everything is ready for the season, upcoming season, which, by the way, April 3rd, Friday, is the first camping season. Next, I'd go to the marina, which is opening Friday, the 13th. And just so everybody's aware, it is fully stocked with supplies, bait, fuel, snacks, and drinks. A boat registration will be available that Friday. Just as a quick reminder, when you register your boat, you need the boat being present, proof of ownership and insurance. You need to have passed the boating test for 2026 and be up to date with assessments. Kind of piggybacking off of Chris and Dwayne, with the recent rain we received, the level of the lake's been rising rapidly. Speaking with Phil McKinley from the Clean Water Committee, and he's been taking some fun measurements. He said after the 3.5 inches of rain that we received early last week, the lake level increased about 30 inches. So it's almost like a 9-to-1 ratio this year. It has came up rapidly. We were looking at the spillway last Friday. It was still down about 10 to 8 inches as far as you could tell, and it looks to be about 6 inches below normal pool level right now, which is fantastic. And so with the forecast coming up, I expect we're going to be overflowing that spillway pretty soon. Prior to the lake level rising, we were utilizing the beach comb and sand sifter that we purchased last year in conjunction with a very fine tractor we have. And we went to each one of the beaches and removed as many rocks and snails as we possibly can out into the water, what would typically be underwater. So last fall, the water level went down, and the beaches themselves look pretty good in my opinion. But once that water level went down, you're like, ugh, don't really want to put my feet in that. So we made sure to go out there and just make them as clean as possible for the upcoming season. Also, I think we've mentioned this before, but just wanted to say the Lake Committee provided 9+ triaxles of sand that was brought in by CDL Trucking. And so our beaches should be a very nice part of the community this year. And a quick update for the addition at Psalms, that has been dried in. So last month the foundation was poured, walls are erected, roof and flashing has been completed, and the contractor is currently working on the electrical, and after that we'll be following up with some interior finishing. No exact timeline on that, but it is moving along. I'm sure you guys can see it when you're driving across the dam and spillway. So that is all from me.
Thank you. All right, on to old business. First, we have 94 Patriots Landing variants. If you want to bring
They've
us
asked
up
for
to speed.
extension, so we approved that, so we'll look forward to that at the next meeting.
Okay.
We did speak to the gentleman that was doing the survey of the land. He expressed to me that he was hoping to get that completed the first part of this week, Monday or Tuesday. So that's what his variance was based on, not variance, but his extension was based off of. So we should get that information pretty quick.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. All right, next old business is Heritage Lake Special Deputy. I just wanted to inform the community that the Board of Directors had a special vote to approve that position. It's also been approved with the county commissioners. Everything's been filed, and our new special deputy will be ready to go as soon as he retires from his job here and gets everything in line with the sheriff's department. So I think everybody's really looking forward to that. All right, then we have new business A, which is a 40 Victory Hill variance.
So 40 Victory Hill variance, Mr. Blake, he would like to add a second garage. The A&E denied this request based upon our covenants rule, Article 7. No building shall be erected, altered, or placed or permitted to remain on any lot other than a single-family dwelling, not exceeding 2.5 stories in height, one private garage or boathouse, or a combination garage or boathouse. And also in the A&E rules, lots are deeded together will be considered a single lot when applying for an A&E building permit. We kind of touched base on this last meeting, and we went over this in our operations meeting as well. I think everybody has all the information. We have a pamphlet here from the property owner as well, if you want to breeze through that real quick, showing his locations. You guys want to take a look at that?
So if I understand this, he owns 3 lots,
Yes,
and he has a garage already on 1 lot, his house on the other.
he has a garage
Garage and house
and a
are on
detached
kind of
garage,
one-
and he's wanting to add another detached garage.
The garage and the house are on the same lot.
No.
I got a lot on one side of the house, and then a lot on the other side of the house.
So based off our covenants, I don't know that we can really move forward.
Is there any discussion before anyone
Is that a
takes a motion?
covenants? Sorry.
Go ahead.
I didn't mean to step on you.
No, no, go ahead.
Is that covenants or bylaws or rules?
It's in the covenants.
Covenants? Okay. Well, I'll put my 2 cents in like I normally do. As you all know, I'm not a fan of variances. If anybody's been watching on the TV. But actually, in this case, I actually see some merit to it. I understand that it's in the covenants. I didn't know that. I thought it was just maybe an A&E rule, not a covenants rule. Maybe that could be one of the first things we change with the new voting policy. But at least my 2 cents on it is for him to be able to do what he wants to be able to do, because I believe the house and the garage were existing when you bought it, right?
Correct.
Yeah. There would be a lot of hardship as far as monetary if he did, basically to add a breezeway and everything to connect his house and his garage, to spend, what were you saying, Blake, $65,000?
That's just a rough estimate, but yeah.
By the time you added a 20 by 30 and then a 20 by 20 porch and a 10-foot breezeway that would basically run across his entire lot and move as well possibly, or around as well. I'm just, like I said, I don't know if there's anything we can do because it's a covenants level thing and our hands are tied, but I'm just saying that's normally one of the things that we consider on a variance level because of that situation. Like, to have to go to that level, or he'd have to tear down his current garage to then build the other garage, which I think also kind of defeats the purpose if you're gonna own a bunch of lots that he did buy from Clear Creek to be able to kind of landlock himself in that corner. I know the rules are the rules, and I know, like I said, you guys know how I normally stand on variances. I don't even want to hear them most of the time. But this is probably one of the ones that, at least to me, makes sense if we were able to do something about it. Just because I think adding a garage is never a detriment to the community, you know, if it's done tastefully. But that's just my own take on it.
Anyone else have anything?
Well, I think as much as I would like to approve this for you, I don't believe we can, because it's a covenants problem. And we can't violate our own covenants. We're legally mandated to enforce those.
Did you have
Well,
something?
I was just looking for, I wanted to read the language in the covenant so I could understand. That's the.
first
oh.
paragraph.
Oh,
One page that's highlighted.
Okay. Sorry, thank you. Okay.
And this verbiage is from the covenants?
Yes.
Okay.
I can read it. The highlighted portion, it says, "No building shall be erected, altered, placed, or permitted to remain on any lot other than one single-family dwelling, not exceeding 2 1/2 stories in height, and one private garage or boathouse, or combination garage and boathouse for family automobiles and boats, in keeping with the dwelling so erected." And then below, it says lots that are deeded together will be considered a single lot when applying for the A&E building permit. So his multiple lots are treated as one. And so technically, he has the house and a detached garage already.
He has 2 structures.
Right.
So the thing we're running into is he has 2 structures, 2 separate structures. Now, if he builds his $60-some thousand breezeway between the house and the garage, that would technically make it one structure, which I think unfortunately would look gaudy running. How many feet is it between the
60
two?
feet.
No, I guess what I'm saying, and I'm not arguing one way for it or against it. While the rule states, you know, as read, that is for a single lot. This garage would not be on the same lot, so would it actually be violating the
The
covenants?
Yeah,
second
because-
part,
right, the second
lots that are
part.
deeded together are considered a single lot when you're applying.
That is not a covenant, that is an A&E rule. Sorry.
So the top part is the covenants,
Yeah.
the bottom part is the.
Covenants on the top, A&E
This is your
rule.
A&E.
So does that put it back to
So-
a feasible, Rick, to your point, where it's not breaking the covenants?
What do our law experts in here feel like?
I don't think so, but
It's
I'm
the
not an
language
attorney.
thing.
That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I've got a question.
Sure.
Do we have to decide this today? Can we do more
We can
research
table.
on this?
We can table.
I think it needs to be tabled
can
with some more research
more
because of that.
research.
I would have, not knowing that that was an A&E rule, I was going to, yeah, at least personally vote not to approve it just because it's a covenant issue. But with this other, portion not being a covenant issue, I think we need to do a little bit more digging to see if then it's perhaps feasible and it wouldn't be in violation of the covenants due to that.
So I'll look up
That's another
our A&E rules, basically saying, is there anything in the covenants that say you can't have just a garage on a lot, which I will find out one way or another, and then additionally, is there anything in the A&E rules
Correct.
about, okay.
Correct. Anybody else have anything? Thoughts on tabling it till next meeting?
I move to table the issue.
Any- All in favor of tabling this for more research? Okay. We will do that. That's probably a good answer for you. Otherwise, otherwise I think our hands are tied, but if it's possible to allow it because of this, I think your chances are better.
Now,
Thank you.
you're A&E, wait, are you still A&E this year?
Liaison, yeah.
Okay.
That's the lucky winner.
How would, like, in your estimation, how many times has any of this been brought up to A&E for like different garage options?
Well, I'm not sure. I've only been on the committee for a year, so the A&E's.
I just didn't know if it had even
been
happened in the
me.
last
I don't
year.
know.
I'm wondering
I don't
if we were to
remember.
make a rule change to the A&E rules, how many people would that actually really affect? A couple? Along the
Well, there's a
way?
lot of people have lots together, so there's more than a couple,
I mean, I'd rather see garages than houses.
so.
I mean, I've got a lot that's deeded to my house with a separate garage on it,
Yeah.
so I know it can be done.
No, I'm just saying that the three, like more than two structures. Like if you had 3 or 5, what if you had 5 lots in a row? Like what would be the harm in having 2 garages? One for your boat, one for your hot rods or whatever. Like I'm just trying to think of what is the downside to
I
letting
think
people
it's-
have more
I
garages?
think it's similar to not allowing a dock on a property without a house.
But you
And
can't
how
sell
many
it
people
because they're
really,
deeded
after they
together.
deed their property together, really want to undeed later on in life?
I don't think you can though.
By law, you can. It says that here we can't, but by law, you can. And what if I had 2 lots together and a garage on one of my lots, and I want to undeed, and the buyer wants to buy this lot with the garage, but it says it's build a house? Are we really gonna stop them from building a house? I mean, there's a lot of stuff we need to look into before we could even say yes.
Yeah, I think we need to look at it carefully because I don't think we can have an A&E rule that supersedes the covenants. So we have to be careful with this.
Like, just for clarity, you can still build your garage on that lot, but it's gonna cost you, by doing so, you're connected,
You have to connect the house.
connected.
Yeah.
So you can still, albeit it's gonna cost you more money, but you're
It's
still
gonna
gonna,
happen.
yeah, it's gonna happen. So.
It's gonna look kind of hideous one way, and it's gonna look good the other. I mean, at this point, I just need, you know.
I was just looking at the hardship factor, because we always look at that when houses are put in the wrong place, like over in Jefferson Valley. That one that got poured in the wrong place, and we didn't make them tear the foundation out and move it, even though they just blatantly put it in the wrong place.
Shame on we.
I don't know if I was
And
on the board then.
I don't think I was
I
either.
was the only one
Where was
around, as usual. And then there was another one down in the corner that we gave a variance to the road for the same reason, because he wanted to build a garage in a certain way. And we, as the board, collectively, some of us didn't, but some of us did. More people agreed than disagreed. On the same road as the one where the foundation was put in the wrong place, the other one we gave a variance to, so he could, the front of the house, because it was a little ambiguous, what the front of the house was versus the back of the house. When you're on the water, because I agree the same way, like the front of the house to me is facing the water. The back is facing the road on a waterfront house, because which is not the rule, but that's just the way I see it. And that was the way he saw it as well, was he thought the front of his house was facing the lake, not facing the side street. So when he had it all drawn up where he wanted, and we didn't want to create a hardship for him to have to redraw and resubmit his entire house over a 5-foot setback that was within the county rules, but not within our rules. It was 25 instead of 30. So I'm just putting it out there from the lineage and the history of it all, that we have allowed some things to be adjusted based off of hardship, creating a monetary problem, not so much an aesthetic problem or a planning problem. So just for context.
Okay, so we'll table this until next month, and we'll do some research in the meantime, and maybe we'll bring this back to the operations meeting if we have some more information. Okay, so now on to new business B, the 2026 bass tournament schedule.
Okay, submitted in front of you is the bass tournament for this year. What I can tell you is the total number of tournaments went down by 3. They typically have creeped up, but at least they went down this year by 3. They've been reviewed. They don't, the dates don't interfere with any other function that's going on, so in my opinion, it looks fine, but it takes a vote to approve.
Anyone have a motion?
I make a motion to approve it as submitted.
Second.
All in favor of the tournament schedule? All right. The 2026 bass tournament schedule as calendared on this piece of paper is approved. Now we have the open forum. If I have anyone.
Saturday.
Eddie, sir.
Myself. Rich Wallace, Jefferson Valley, 259. How do I get to put something on the agenda here? I want to talk about covenants of mini barns out here. How can I get that on the agenda for next meeting?
So as far as that's a conversation or a topic you want to bring up to the board?
Yes, I might want to bring it up out here, yeah, bring it up.
So what I would say is bring it to the long-term planning committee meeting. Go to a long-term planning committee meeting, and that's where it would first get discussed.
How do I bring it to here get on the agenda for here to talk about it, you know? Or instead of having we just sit here and talk about it on the agenda. You know,
Talk about it how, though?
on the agenda about how I'm reading the covenants and how you guys have been reading the covenants and about the mini barns and different stuff out here.
So
You're
I
not
was
reading a different way.
Probably not something to discuss at a board meeting, but perhaps another meeting if you wanted to go over how that's interpreted.
I guess technically the open forum is the time for him to ask a
Sure,
question.
yeah.
I mean, if he's got a specific question to ask, if you want something put on the agenda, it needs to be brought up at the ops meeting to be put on the agenda for the board meeting, if I'm remembering our Robert.
Yeah, if you would get me the topic, what you want to discuss, we'll put it on the ops agenda.
You can come to that.
You can come to that, speak to, and then the board will decide whether it goes on the agenda for the board.
But if you just have questions about how we interpret that,
Yeah,
that's something we can.
I don't want a big argument, I just want to bring it up so we can talk about it. So I have to go to the ops meeting to have it put on the agenda then?
Yep.
If you just have a general question about the covenants, you can ask it now, that's what the open forum is for. But if you have a certain topic that you want to discuss about the covenants, then
That we might need to prepare for.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm going to catch you off guard. I'm going to sit down.
So I'd say the ops meeting would be the time to come in and discuss it and bring any, if you have any special literature, or you need something you want to highlight to bring up to us.
That's it, yeah.
If you want to bring us something written that says like, hey, I have a question about this, this, and this, and you want to have some handouts, kind of like Blake did for his variance request, that he had a nice written thing for us, that would be really helpful, because I, even after 9 years, do not have all the covenants memorized.
Right, well, I mean, I think to me, and I think I interpret it a different way, but I want to bring it to, then I guess I'll bring it to the ops meeting, and then get put on the agenda, so we can sit there and talk about it.
it needs to be, it'll be March 30th. Get with me on what you want, because we make up an agenda for the ops meeting as well. So you need to let me know what the topic is, and then we'll put you on for the agenda.
Okay, sounds great. All right, thank you.
Anyone else?
Thomas Novak, 25 Mill Springs. I just wanted to let everybody know that coming up in May, on May 28th, we're going to have our blood drive. That'll be in the building right here downstairs. The hours will be from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. And you can register either online. For the people at home, you probably see this flyer on your screen, but you can register online at www.redcrossblood.org, or you could call Marianne Novak. Her phone number is area code 765-386-2077. And the supply of blood is low. So we would certainly appreciate you coming out and donating on May 28th. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Motion to adjourn? Second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? And we shall be adjourned. Thank you.